Now I'm gonna be honest guys, you can probably tell by the lighting, but it's a bit of a gloomy day here in Iowa, the heart of the Midwest. We're supposed to be getting into springtime, but it's been like raining, hailing, 80-mile-per-hour winds, but I figured what better way to brighten my mood and hopefully yours by opening up some manga packages today. As you can tell by the thumbnail, we got several boxes full of manga to open up today. 4 in total. We got some small ones, we got some big ones at the bottom, we got it all. And to be honest, I don't really have any precursors for you today other than that I am glad you are here and I am ready to get into open up some manga today. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Without any further ado, let's get right into the first package. I guess first things first, we'll get into the smallest package here. Has a rubber band on it, which I've never seen before. Most of these packages are from Libris, which is my favorite place to buy manga. They have some really good prices. Hopefully you could hear me, that box wasn't too loud. But yeah, Libris is great, but the one thing I don't like is that when you buy stuff from them, especially a lot of stuff, it comes in a bunch of different boxes instead of just one, which sometimes you're waiting on stuff to arrive when you've already received the box. It's kind of annoying. We'll go ahead and take the first book out of the box here, and we have a new volume from Osamu Tezuka that is I.L. by the godfather of manga. Now, I did not even know this came out. I think, yeah, this is from Titan Manga, which is a publisher I'm sure some of you guys have not heard of. Now, I personally know Titan Manga from one thing. I believe they did some Prince of Eden. It's an Endless World, I think in English, and yeah, that's as far as my knowledge goes. So this is actually my first ever book from Titan Manga. It looks to be pretty nice quality. As for the series itself, you guys know I'm a massive Osamu Tezuka fan. I actually know nothing about this. I didn't even know this came out till I came across it on like Reddit or something. As you can see on the cover here, we got a sticker that says contains explicit content, which I guess I could probably guess by looking at the front and back cover. How explicit it gets remains to be seen. So that was the only book in the first package. We'll go ahead and move on to the second box here, which is actually not from a Libris, but from an Amazon third-party seller. And I'll tell you, I don't buy a lot of stuff from Amazon in general, especially they're a third-party marketplace they got going on there, just because I've seen so many horror stories of things that people ordered and it ended up being completely different or just in absolute terrible condition. So we'll see if we got lucky here today, but this is a manga volume that is very expensive that I absolutely did not want to pay full retail price for, so let's see how we did on the condition of it. Take it out of the box here, and as you can see, this is so exciting. We have the first volume of Ashita no Jo. This is the deluxe kind of hardcover that we recently got from Kodansha. And as for the condition of it, to me, it looks pretty good, to be honest. I'll show you how the book looks. Now, when this came out or when it was announced, I actually thought this was going to be like a deluxe edition. This feels and looks very similar to the Message to Adolf hardcovers we got from Vertical, and since Kodansha owns Vertical, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But as you can see, pretty much identical there. So if you're looking to buy this, do not expect a Berserk Deluxe. That is absolutely not what this is, but still this feels like a really nice high quality book. Now, as for Ashita no Jo, this was obviously a holy grail that people never thought would come out in English physical print. A classic boxing manga that so many people love. You guys know I love my sports manga, especially classic vintage manga like this. So I'm super excited to get into this. Don't think the series is too long, so hopefully it won't be too many hardcovers I'll have to fork over the money for. God, these are expensive. So even though that last box was bigger, that was the only book in there. Now we're getting into the boxes that have multiple books in them. As I'm opening up this box, I do want to say, I actually just got a brand new iPhone 16, which is what I'm recording this video on. Previous, I was using my iPhone 11 for like probably the entire time I've been making YouTube videos. Now, will 5 generations of iPhones make a huge difference in the camera quality? I really don't know. You guys will have to let me know what you think of the picture quality for this video. Before we get into this box, I'm going to divulge on a very quick rant here. What is up with Apple not including charging blocks with their new iPhones? Like, they just assume I have one already, but when switching to USB-C, I don't have one. I cannot charge my phone. Apparently they're trying to save the environment, but I don't buy that for a minute. Fuck Apple, fuck Samsung, give me a goddamn charger. But anyway, rant over, we're gonna get back to the manga. The first thing we have in this box is the newest volume of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro Volume 18. I mentioned this in my last manga unboxing, but this cover, this outfit, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen in this volume is going to be great. The next book in the box is another familiar face from past manga hauls. That is the Fable. This is Omnibus 6, containing volumes 11 and 12 of this great series. I recently got done reading Omnibus 4 and 5 of the Fable that I got in my most recent manga haul, and I just blew right through them. Every time I get a new book from the Fable, I just get right into it immediately, no fooling around. I just have to finish it as soon as possible. I know it feels like forever ago, but even before this series was in English physical print, The Fable was one of those manga series like Ashita no Joe that so many people wanted in physical print, and I'm so glad we're finally getting it, that it's selling well, and I cannot wait to keep picking up more of these books every time they come out. And the last book in this package is actually another omnibus, but from a series that I haven't bought anything from in quite a while. This is actually going to wrap up the series as well. That is Omnibus 3 of Shinichi Sakamoto's Innocent. Now, I read the first omnibus of this when it came out, or I believe a year after it came out, so last year. The artwork is absolutely phenomenal, as you can probably tell from the cover. I'm not going to show you inside because I don't want to get demonetized for grotesque violence. But yeah, this series is super violent, depressing. There's lots of torture, obviously, as it follows this family of executioners in France. It gets pretty in detail, and yeah, if you're not in the right headspace, you're kind of squeamish, I would probably avoid this one because it is very grim. But as far as seinen manga goes, this was another one that people were demanding for years to get an English physical release, and Dark Horse stepped up, gave us some beautiful omnibuses that I really enjoy reading. And I don't know if this was recent, but I feel like I remember seeing on Twitter that Innocent Rouge, or Rogue, I don't know how to pronounce it, is getting a release from, I forget which publisher, probably Dark Horse. I know a lot of people were wondering about that and are currently excited that's coming out. I'm gonna get through, obviously, Innocent before picking that up, but I cannot wait to do so. This was one of my favorite manga reads that I had last year, and honestly, one of the best seinen manga, I think, in my entire collection. And now we are down to the wire. We're down to the final manga package, which should have the most amount of books, so we're kind of saving the best and biggest for last. So we'll go ahead and open this up and see what we got. I know that inside this package are a couple series that I do not have any volumes of, so we got some new stuff that I'm excited to read. Let's go ahead and take them out. So before we get into the new stuff, here we have the newest volume of Fist of the North Star. This is volume 15. Got a great little cover on there with the main characters as kids look like. You guys know, love this series, an absolute classic, amazing artwork, amazing action story. Glad to add this one to the shelf. Next up here we have another volume from Osamu Tezuka, a new release in English from him, which is always exciting. We have Tomorrow the Birds by Osamu Tezuka. This was picked up as, I believe, one of 4 volumes from Tezuka by the publisher Ablaze Manga. They've been doing amazing stuff. They did 100 Tales, Osamu Tezuka, Shakespeare, Theater, something like that. And then Neo Foss, which was supposed to come out, I believe, in March, but got delayed till like July. When I saw that, I was just crying inside. But at least here I have another volume of new Tezuka to tide me over. Really love how this cover looks. I don't know anything about this. I assume something with birds. The next 2 manga volumes we have in this haul here are 2 volumes from a series that I started reading, I believe it was last month or the month before that, and I absolutely loved the first volume. Here we have volume number 2 and 3 of Trillion Game. Now, I actually had a comment say when I talked about the first volume of Trillion Game, how that first volume was actually the weakest volume and that it just keeps getting better and better. And like I just said, I absolutely loved the first volume. So when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be a classic, isn't it? So like I said, here we have volume 2 and volume 3 of Trillion Game. I believe where the first volume left off, they're going to like some sort of hackathon. I guess I should say this manga is about these 2 guys, one a computer nerd and one like this charismatic kind of con man, and they team up with the life goal of making 1 trillion yen, taking over, I believe, the cybersecurity world and business. So yeah, it's a very interesting concept. Got great chemistry between our 2 main characters, as well as some other side characters that are very fun, charismatic, and colorful. So yeah, these volumes, again, super excited to read. Love the artwork from Ryuichi Ikigami, one of my all-time favorite artists. just everything for this series has going for it is right up my alley. So again, love this series so far and I cannot wait to keep reading it. The next volume we have here is from one of my favorite ongoing manga, and I'm sure one of yours as well. Here we have volume 13, the newest volume of Spy Family. Now, I don't really need to say much about this, just has kind of taken the manga world by storm as this series has been coming out. Immensely popular and for really good reason. It's very cute, funny, action-packed. It's got fluffy dogs, as you can see in there. I mean, come on, what's not to love? This is another series similar to like One Punch Man and Nagatoro, where I keep picking up the volumes as they come out, but I have not read it in a while, so not sure what's going on at this point where I've left off in the story, but I'm sure it's gonna be peak as always. Always love reading these volumes, and yeah, I will add it to the shelf. Hopefully I'll get to it soon. And last but not least, we have some brand new manga volumes from a brand new manga series that I have not read, but I'm super excited to get into. Here we have volumes 1 through 3 of Thunder 3. Now, I'm sure some of you guys have never heard of the series, and some of you guys that have heard of it are probably thinking, thank God he's finally reading this. Now, I'll be honest, I had not heard of this series until I actually watched a video from Zach from Uchu Shelf, who was saying his best and worst manga reads of, I believe, 2024. And this was, I believe, one of, if not his favorite manga read of that year. And, you know, that already piqued my interest because the guy has good taste. But then I also saw that Hiroya Oku, the author and artist of Gantz, as you can see on this cover here, has some sort of involvement with this series. I don't exactly know what it is. I mean, I was scouring these volumes looking for his name credited somewhere. Maybe one of these is his kind of pen name or alias on the top. But basically, from what I've gathered, this manga is basically about these like Doraemon characters who get kind of sucked into like this Gantz sci-fi world. And I mean, even flipping through it, some of the background art is very reminiscent of what you see in Gantz. And obviously he illustrated the stuff on this cover, it looks like. And I mean, literally everything I've heard about this series has just been that it's completely badass and awesome. And you guys know that is exactly what pulls me into a manga, if it can satiate my needs for violence, but also some humor and just, you know, basically if it's Gantz or like Gantz, I'll love it. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for this month's manga haul. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, seeing all of the great manga that I cannot wait to add to the collection and start reading probably as soon as I get done recording. So again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. But yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And as always, hope to catch you in the next one.